Namaskar. I'm Didi Anandaraza Shuda. I'm AMURTEL sectorial for Cairo sector and for Berlin sector. And AMURTEL is a special branch in Ananda Marga Universal Relief team ladies, and we work for the needs, especially the needs of women and children during calamities, during earthquakes, but also during calamities man-made calamities like wars. And the past 1.5 years, we really concentrate in doing our work for Gaza, helping the women and the children, as well as all entire families, displaced Palestinian families in Egypt, as well as in Gaza. We used different type of methodologies, but mainly we did partnership with other organizations, as well as organizing 3 teams into Gaza that have 3 leaders. The 3 leaders actually live in Egypt, so they can easily access funds and then send to their families and to their team members inside Gaza to do the work of water delivery, truck water delivery. At the moment, we are also doing desalination, 3 desalination plants inside Gaza, as well as distribution of food tent by tent. And personally, I really gave a lot of emphasis in starting educational activities inside Gaza. We started 7 of them, as well as 2 schools, 1 kindergarten school in Cairo with 150 children, and 1 elementary school in Al Arish, which is the north of Egypt, the closest place to Rafah, with 170 children. And in the video, I will show all these activities as much as possible. Thank you so much. It has been an amazing experience to work with Palestinian people. Are some of the most amazing, strong, resilient people, full of dignity. The women are full of dignity and incredible, and it has been really fantastic. And our children in the Cairo school, in the Cairo Kindi, they make amazing drawings because we use art therapy as a methodology to overcome their trauma. And later on I will show you their drawings, amazing drawing that actually in this period I'm going around doing exhibition so that we can raise also more funds for AMURTEL. Namaskar. So this is practically all the AMURTEL work we did in Gaza for 1.5 years. It has been an incredible experience, and this is something that really shook the whole world, what happened there. If you can see here, this is Gaza 2023 Ramadan, and then you have Gaza 2024 Ramadan, where everything was destroyed, and of course 2025 even worse, because people were there, didn't have food, and the famine, the starving started inside Gaza, lack of water, trucks couldn't go in anymore, and this has been going on for so long. And of course, we immediately mobilized as a team, as an AMURTEL team for Palestine, for Gaza. And the first mobilization was by working together in coordination and with the Egyptian Food Bank and the Egyptian Red Crescent. Here we are working in the premises of the Egyptian Red Crescent, packaging boxes of food, boxes of medicine. We had a medical team also at that time, and also AMURTEL Lebanon helped us, and things were going into Gaza through huge trucks full of stuff, and this happened from January 2024 onwards. Yeah, here our team in AMURTEL team in Lebanon helping us, sending a lot of goods, from food to shoes to flowers, everything that was needed. And here started also the displacement of thousands of Palestinian families coming into Egypt. And many families had no place where to go, had no food. and the 28 different hospitals in Egypt, they were full of people that they were wounded, waiting in the corridors, and this was really overwhelming. Also because the Egyptian hospital, they were not really completely ready for such a catastrophe. So there was no soap for the inmates, there were no medicines, and we started to collaborate with many organizations. The first organization was Project Humanity. We made a partnership, and we helped the people in Cairo as well as the people in the hospitals with hospital bag for cancer patients and other type of patients, for children, and visit to the doctors, medicine, accommodation, clothing. Not only, but at that time there were also 1,000 Palestinian students that they were studying overseas, means in Cairo, and suddenly they lost the founding of their families. So actually Project Humanity really helped 4,000 of these Palestinian students to find some sponsorship so that they continued their studies. At the same time, we created a website, and we created a chat on WhatsApp so that the people could ask any sort of information and help, and they were very efficient in that. We also started a partnership with Life Relief for Palestine, another organization started in Cairo itself, where we sent Ramadan food bags. This is for Ramadan 2024 inside Gaza, as well as we were helping to bring boxes of medicines and bags, necessary bags for patients into the hospitals. At that time, I arrived in Cairo, and at that time I met our first collaborator, which is called Hadil. She's sitting there in the middle between myself and Vita Shoka, which is our helper that lives and coordinator that lives in Cairo. And we started packaging all sorts of food, clothing, children items, etc., to send to Hadil that lives in Al Arish, where there are some thousands of family displaced from Rafah, because Al Arish is the closest place to Rafah. I also arrived not knowing exactly what to get. I had all the donations from Italy, and what we thought is to first start with hygiene bags for women. We knew it was very necessary, and Vita Shoka practically made her children, because she's a teacher in a Egyptian English school. She got her children to fill up all our bags. This was thousands of bags that they were sent for hygiene inside Gaza as well as in Cairo and Al Arish. And I myself, I got up one morning 5 o'clock doing meditation, and because I didn't know exactly where to put my energy, and I got this message to buy baby milk formula. So then immediately we went out searching for baby milk formula, and we found it finally, because it was actually one of the items missing in the market. And we sent a lot into Gaza through the Red Crescent, as well as in Cairo. We distributed through our partnership with Project Humanity, and so boxes and boxes of this item were sent. At that time, still trucks were entering Gaza, and then we made another partnership with Together for Tomorrow, a big organization, and a lot was sent because that organization was very efficient, and we could send 80,000 pair of shoes, 1 ambulance, 2 X-ray, 10,000 tents, and most of the packaging was done in Cairo. And all together with this organization, Together for Tomorrow, we sent for 58 trucks of aid. And after that, we got a message that there was a family of orphans, 8 children, that they were saved from the rebels in in Gaza, and then they were sent through the ambulances, urgently they were sent to the hospitals in Cairo in order to get their operation. And these children, the only survival in the family, adult survival, was the grandmother. So somehow we started a house with these children, and AMURTEL practically up until now, and now is more than a year, that has completely supported this family with rent for their house, all the bills, medical bills, food, clothing, as well as school. Because after that we started a school in Cairo itself where these children are studying. Here is one of our volunteers, AMURTEL volunteers in Cairo, which is called Iman, and that's the grandmother, the kid's grandmother, that really is still now helping so much and working to keep this family growing. All these children, they were saved from the rubble. You can see here, this is the eldest, which is sitting at the top of the sofa, and he was saved from the rubble. He arrived in Cairo with his head open, and he was 4 months in the hospital, but now he's okay, and he's actually a very intelligent child and is really doing very well. Same, the smallest child was also saved by the rubble, and here you have the photo to see. These photos were given by the family, and they allowed us, they give us permission to show what really happened to these children. And this is one of the sisters, the elder sister, same thing happened, but now she's fine. And some of our paintings and photos that I have, they are actually from them. Because in our school we use art therapy for helping these children to overcome their trauma. And this is the Palestinian Cultural Center that started first in Cairo with the help of an American volunteer and supporter. And here is where I met Wejdan, a fantastic, amazing woman that had the best kindergarten in Gaza with 500 children and 35 teachers. Of course, her kindergarten was bombed, and not only all the houses of her family and the brother and grandfather, all the houses were bombed. So she escaped and she went to Cairo. And I will show another video later on where you can see her, that she never stopped teaching to children, even when she was in Rafah waiting for crossing the border. She actually, even there, she was teaching to her children. So we also did a lot of work by sending, of course, water, because you cannot stay without water for more than 3 days. People were thirsty, and water is absolutely essential. So we sent weekly trucks of water, 5,000-liter trucks of water, where 250 families can come and get water that can last for a few days for a family. And then, of course, we send a lot of packages of food and important items, also from Cairo to Al Arish. And we continued with the children's hygiene, women's and children's hygiene bags, food bags, clothing, and medicines. And here are all our volunteers in Cairo that help us to do this. And sending nighttime, daytime, sending trucks to Al Arish as well. And this is our collaborator Hadil, that then distributed all the bags, the hygiene bags, the medicine, the clothing, the food, to all the people, displaced Palestinian people in Al Arish. Hundreds of families have been benefited. Then we started a program last year in September which is September 2024, we started a program with schooling. The first one was Hadil that wanted to start a school in Al Arish, and he started with 70 children, but now she has 170 children, and it is the AMURTEL Palestinian Bright Minds Academy. And of course, as AMURTEL, we supported the project with everything, all the stationaries, all the things necessary for schooling, as well as rent and fees for the teachers. This is the first day of school, and they just painted the Palestinian flag. And here our children in Al Arish, you can see the children are still really traumatized, but the school environment, being together and enjoying the activities, can really help these hundreds of the displaced children to recuperate themselves and slowly to have a normal way of living again. And here is Hadil again, that is very, very caring towards her children. And then with Weshdan, we started the Mira kindergarten in Cairo itself. They started with 50 children and 5 teachers, and now she has 150 children. Of course, the children don't come every day because many of them cannot afford to come every day to school because of the cost of the transport. However, there is a rotation. Some children come 2 days a week, some children come 3 days a week, and so on. But it's benefited so many of them that have lost their parents, or at least one of their parents. Many of them, they have only the mother or the father, or otherwise an auntie or grandmother. And some of these children also were very badly wounded, like you see the child who is now looking up towards the ceiling. He also had an operation in his head, and he was also 3 months in the hospital, and he still has his mother. The girl that you see more on the left, she's actually part of a triplet. There are 3 girls that are triplets, and they lost the father. And some of the paintings that we will show you after, they are from these kids. Very lovely kids, but they are slowly doing well in the school, because Weshdan is really using art therapy as a way for them to overcome their trauma. Here again, another photo of our school. And here again, children at work, drawing and expressing themselves, and allow this expression that helps them to draw their feelings, their memories. Some of them even they draw their dreams, because many of them don't sleep in the night due to trauma. And sometimes they come in the morning, and the need is to just to draw whatever they dream in the night. And here also you will see some of their works later on. Then what happened is that we had the chance and the possibility of starting a schooling activity inside Gaza itself through Hadil. Hadil's sister was still in Gaza, and the children there had nothing. So when they heard that we started the schools in Al Arish and in Cairo, they immediately said, "Oh, but we can start something here in Gaza too." And so we started to send funds, and many things happened, because in the beginning they had nothing. That they didn't even have the paper or a pencil or a pen to write. So the first school was with Rima. It was which is a cousin of Hadil, and it started in a tent where there was some carpets, and so it became the meeting place for the children. And then they started to buy stationaries, pens, whiteboards, blackboards, and so there are beautiful videos that show how happy the children were just with so little that we did for them. Here is Asma, which is the sister of Hadil, started another school, and you can see the children are still in the sand, with the feet in the sand, but they have a whiteboard to write on, and they have pen and pencils and notebooks to write on. And this is Laba School, another cousin of Adil. They started it in another place in Gaza. And the children are very beautiful. Palestinian children are very international in the way they look. Some of them are blonde, some are red hair, blue eyes, brown eyes, and they are very, very very universal in the way of their way of being, and working with Palestinian people also. I noticed this, that they are very universalistic in their minds, very open-minded, very kind, extremely kind, and with great resilience and faith. Then May School started. The husband of May came to Egypt, to Cairo, to try to find a house for the family, and then the border stopped. The border was closed. Israeli didn't allow anyone in or anyone out, so the family was divided. The husband remained in Cairo, and his wife and 6 children remained in Gaza. So the husband felt very depressed, and we really helped him also with some counseling. And after that, we proposed the idea of allowing his wife in Gaza to start a school. And this gave so much new energy to the family. So funds started to come for the school, and May practically got up to 100 children, boys and girls, in the part of her house that was not bombed. And the husband also practically recuperated a lot of his energy in doing this work. And this is another photo of the School of May in Gaza. They went very well. And then another photo of Asma School. And then in the winter, of course, we started the distribution of toys and warm blankets and warm clothing for all the children in all our schools in Gaza. And last but not least, we had the Tatris program in Cairo, started by Vita Shota, that she really congregated about 50 Palestinian women, and under the teacher Allah, that you can see with the pink scarf on her head. She is the main teacher, learning the traditional embroidery of Palestinians, which is called Tatris. And they started to do amazing things, like this type of things, that now are actually successfully selling at the local market in Cairo. So 50 families are actually helped in this way.